everyone, it's Julia. I have another thrifted item here that I want to upcycle and change into something different. It is a long sleeve button down shirt. It's a size extra large and it is like a white and pinkish colored stripe. And I'm going to also use this skirt that I picked up. It is a long, very long knit skirt with this floral design. It is, I believe, a cotton polyester fabric, and I'm going to use it to add some length to this skirt. And I'm just going to use the original hem, or this shirt, and I'm going to use the original hem of the skirt. I also have this wonderful pillowcase that I picked up, and it has the same blue color in it, so I thought that'd be kind of fun to add to the bottom of it as well. You can see it all laying there. I decided to cut off approximately, I believe I did approximately 9 inches off the bottom of this skirt. So just going to go ahead and cut that off all the way around on this skirt. I do have it doubled there, so I'm cutting through both layers. And then just taking the side seam and opening that up. So I have one long strip. And you can see the original hem there of my skirt. And I'm going to cut the same amount off of this pillowcase. So again, approximately 9 inches. And I'm going to be using the hem of the pillowcase as the hem of the shirt. Opening up the side seam, and then deciding how much of this I want on the front. So this pillowcase is going to be on one side of the front of the shirt, and then this skirt is going to go all the way around, a circle around the whole hem of this shirt. Hope that makes sense. So I'm going to be making one long strip with this and just sewing that side seam there. Putting in a couple pins and making sure that hem is at the right place. And finishing that front, this is going to be the center front, this little piece. So I want to make that nice and finish that off just by turning it under twice and hemming it. So I'm going to stitch that, and then I'm also I put a gather string or thread all the way around this, and I'm going to lightly gather this and pin it to my mannequin, or pin it to my shirt, and it's going to be on my mannequin to do this, or my dress form. I'm just going to gently trying to even out my gathers. Do you remember doing this? I used to sew so many model garments, and we had all these cap sleeves, and we put these 2 rows of gathering stitches on the top, and you tried not to get any puckers in it. And I used to manage a Northwest fabric store right out of college. Leave a message or comment down below. I'd be interested to hear if any of you remember Northwest fabric stores. There were a lot of them in the Midwest, but I believe we had some out the West and East as well. After Northwest Fabrics, my husband was transferred out to Portland, Oregon area, and I managed a Fabricland store out there. So again, leave it in the comments if you are familiar with the Fabricland stores. Both of those stores are no longer, but I have fond memories of, that's where I started my career after college, and managing fabric stores. And I still have some of the stuff. I'm not kidding you, especially some of the notions and elastics, which are probably all shot. And anyway, I have it all pinned on now, back to reality and down memory lane here, but it's all pinned on, and I am going to be sewing this right on the top of the hem that's already there. So I'm just going to top stitch this on right over the hem of the shirt. And that's all done, and now it's on to what I'm going to do with these sleeves. I've decided I'm going to cut this bottom of the sleeve off, so it's going to be a 3/4 length sleeve. but it does have these tabs in there, and I don't want those to be destroyed. So I'm going to pin those back so I don't cut through those. And that tab just kind of goes over, and you can button it, basically roll the sleeve up and button it. So I'm kind of getting those out of the way. And then I'm going to cut approximately 8 inches off the bottom of each of these sleeves. And I'm going to turn one of them into a pocket. Making sure it's all even there and lined up. And then I'm going to cut the same amount off of this sleeve, and that will be put into I have a big tub of just pieces, and that'll go into my tub of pieces, because that'll make a cute little pocket on something else. And now I'm going to hem these sleeves. I'm just going to turn it under and hem it. And then I'm going to also open up one of these pockets, and just kind of deciding how I'm going to do that there. I decided to leave the placket on. So one side of this is already going to be finished because of that placket. And I really like the cuff part on top. Just cutting that off. I ended up having to cut the button off as well later here. I'm just deciding what I want to do. I think it's going to need a little tuck or a little pleat right on the top. So I'm going to pin that into place just to give it a little bit more shape. And then going to be just folding that under and ironing that or pressing that nice. And then, like I said, one side already has that placket on, so I don't need to do that. Just kind of deciding how that's going to work. I'm going to put it on the opposite side of the pillowcase front. But I thought it'd be fun to add a little bit of that trim from the pillowcase onto the pocket. Just a little bit of that blue edge, and I'm just going to cut a piece of that off. And then just fold this up and make a nice little embellishment. Folding under the ends, and we'll be just stitching that into place. Back to my mannequin. Now, this dress form I picked up at the flea market, and I love it for this kind of thing. It's just an easy way to make sure there's no, it's just laying nice and flat, and there's no puckering or anything, and then I have it in the right place. It's a very old, it's very vintage dress form, very cushy. I can put pins right through it, and I love it. It's not my size, but it doesn't matter for this type of a thing. It works just great. So I have that pocket all sewn on now, but I want to add some more embellishment to this. And so I cut the waistband off of that skirt, and I put some Heat and Bond Light on the back of it. And I'm going to be cutting out these floral designs and using them as appliques. And I'm also going to be decorating these little sleeve tabs. Just remove that paper backing of my Heat and Bond, and pressing all these designs or this embellishment into place. I put a little bit of the flower up at the top of the collar, and then you can see what the sleeves look like. And then I just did this arrangement on one side, just kind of spilling out of the pocket. Put a little bit on the back side of one, and then also up at the shoulder. I'm at my sewing machine now, and I'm going to be free motion stitching these into place. I do have a stabilizer underneath this because this is a really lightweight shirt, and I just needed a little something underneath there so I didn't have puckering. I have my feed dogs dropped. I have navy blue thread in, and I have my free motion foot on, and I'm just doing doodles and just circling all these little pieces, adding a lot of stitches just to keep it into place. And just traveling from one flower to the next flower. And then I'm removing all that paper. I'm just very gently removing it. This particular stabilizer is made from recycled paper. So it's kind of neat. It's just on a big roll. And then the rest of that residue will come off in the wash. I do have some finished pictures at the end. I hope you have been enjoying this Thrifted Thursday. It's really a lot of fun for me to take something and just putting 2 or 3 items together and just seeing what you can come up with. Hope you have a great week, everyone. Bye for now.